Jack Harper's boots crunched on the gravel outside the modest house in Havenwood. The military backpack slung over his shoulder heavier than it should have been. 3 firm knocks echoed against the wooden door, each one a plea to reclaim the life he'd left behind. Inside, his 8-year-old daughter, Ellie, lived with her stepmother, Vanessa, a woman Jack barely knew since his wife Sarah's death. The door creaked open, Vanessa's weary eyes meeting his, her voice faltering. "Jack, when did you get back?" The air inside was stale, thick with damp and something unspoken. In the kitchen, Ellie swept dust, her frail frame dwarfed by an oversized nightgown, pale skin marred by strange red marks. "Daddy," she whispered later, voice trembling, "I'm scared of the things under my pillow. They keep whispering." Jack's heart froze. That night, unable to sleep, he heard soft footsteps, deliberate, creeping toward Ellie's room. A muffled cry followed. He crept upstairs, flashlight in hand, and lifted her bedsheet. Hundreds of tiny, wriggling creatures, bloated with bright red fluid, crawled beneath her pillow, a syringe glinting nearby. These weren't bedbugs. Horror clawed his chest. A former Special Forces soldier, Jack knew this wasn't a homecoming. It was a mission. Who was behind this? What were they doing to his daughter? Viewers, have you ever sensed danger in a place that's supposed to be safe? What would you do if it was your child? Jack Harper hadn't set foot in Havenwood for 5 years. Deployments had kept him away. Afghanistan, Iraq, missions he couldn't talk about. Sarah's death in a car accident 3 years ago had left Ellie with Vanessa, Sarah's cousin, who'd stepped in as guardian. Jack sent money, called when he could, but guilt gnawed at him. Ellie was his light, her laughter the only thing that cut through the fog of war. Now, standing in the dim house on Maple Street, the musty air and drawn curtains felt wrong, like a tomb preserving a life that no longer existed. Ellie's appearance shook him. At 8, she was too thin, her blonde hair limp, her blue eyes dull. The red marks on her arms and neck, raised, peeling, unnatural, set his instinct on edge. "What happened to your skin?" he asked, kneeling to her level. She pulled back, silent, gripping the broom like a shield. Vanessa's explanation, just allergy-sensitive skin, rang hollow. Jack's training taught him to spot lies, and her fidgeting hands betrayed her. Dinner was tense. Vanessa avoided his gaze, pushing peas around her plate. Ellie ate little, her eyes darting to the hallway. After, Jack tucked her into bed, the room reeking of disinfectant. Her whisper about things under my pillow chilled him. He glanced at Vanessa, who was adjusting curtains, her silhouette unreadable. Was she hiding something, or was he paranoid? Midnight brought the footsteps. Light, deliberate, not Ellie's clumsy patter. Jack lay still on the sagging couch, ears straining. A soft cry from Ellie's room, muffled like a nightmare, sent him bolting upstairs. She tossed in her sleep, sweat beading her forehead, arms flailing. "Ellie, sweetheart, wake up," he whispered, shaking her gently. She curled into him, trembling, her heartbeat racing against his chest. The red marks looked angrier in the dim light. He scanned the room, eyes landing on the stained bedsheet. Something was wrong. Jack waited until Ellie slept, then knelt by her bed. His flashlight revealed a nightmare. Hundreds of tiny round creatures, bloated with glowing red fluid, swarmed beneath the sheet. Not bedbugs. These were unnatural, pulsing like overfed berries. A glass syringe, tipped with red residue, lay tucked near the mattress. His stomach churned. This wasn't infestation. It was deliberate. Someone was harming his daughter. He recorded the scene, hands steady despite his rage, capturing the creatures and syringe. Vanessa hadn't stirred, even after Ellie's cries. Jack's mind raced. Special Forces had taught him to act, not react. He wrapped the syringe in cloth, preserving evidence, and searched online for red bugs, bright fluid. Nothing matched. These weren't natural. Ellie's whimpers echoed again, "Don't take any more," and Jack knew this was no accident. Someone was targeting his daughter. The next morning, Vanessa's forced smile and casual coffee offered didn't fool him. "Ellie had a nightmare," she said, brushing it off. Jack suggested visiting Ellie's school, watching Vanessa stiffen. At the school, Miss Elena, Ellie's teacher, confirmed his fears. Ellie was sleepy, unfocused, sometimes leaking reddish fluid in class. Vanessa had been told, but did nothing. Jack's suspicion hardened into certainty. Walking through Havenwood, he spoke with Clara, an elderly neighbor. Her gossip about Vanessa's late-night packages from Biogen Research Solutions sent a chill through him. In the backyard, Jack found a discarded box with the same logo. This wasn't just Vanessa, it was bigger. Viewers, have you ever uncovered a secret that changed everything? What would you do next? Jack needed proof. The syringe, the creatures, Clara's story. They pointed to something sinister, but he needed more to protect Ellie. Vanessa's office was his next move. While she was out grocery shopping, Jack slipped inside. The room was pristine, unlike the rest of the house. Books on biology and medicine lined the shelves. A locked drawer held a reddish-black hard drive and handwritten notes. Red fluid F3. Strong reaction. 8 years old. Tolerates low dosage. Ellie's name wasn't written, but the age matched. Jack's blood ran cold. This was experimentation. He photographed everything, leaving no trace, and returned to the living room, his mind a battlefield. Vanessa was involved, but how deep? Was she the mastermind or a pawn? That night, he set up a micro camera above Ellie's bed and a voice recorder underneath, hating that he had to leave her there as bait. At 2 a.m., his phone lit up with footage. A shadowy figure with long hair entered, placed a syringe on Ellie's wrist, taped it, and left. Jack's rage boiled, but the face wasn't clear. Vanessa? Someone else? He called 911, showing police the video and syringe. They were skeptical. Blurry footage and an unverified syringe weren't enough for a warrant. A family matter, they called it, leaving Jack furious and determined. He contacted Captain Maya, his old military friend, now in federal investigations, sending her the evidence and the Biogen logo. Something big is going on, he wrote. The next day, Dr. Simon Black and 2 federal agents arrived, sent by Maya. They sealed Ellie's room, finding the creatures in vials of red fluid labeled E. Harper under the floorboards. Black's face paled. These aren't natural insects. They're genetically modified to extract biological fluid. Ellie was being used as a lab subject. Vanessa, confronted, went rigid, her silence damning. The house was locked down. Ellie rushed to a quarantine center, and Vanessa taken for questioning. Jack held Ellie close, whispering, "Daddy's here." Viewers, what would you do if you found evidence of betrayal in your own home? At the National Quarantine Center, Ellie lay in a sterile room, hooked to machines. Her skin bloomed with reddish-purple blotches, her body convulsing. Jack watched helpless as doctors fought to stabilize her. Diana West, from the Bio-Response Unit, revealed the truth. Ellie was part of Project K-21, a discontinued military experiment using synthetic organisms to harvest immune responses. Vanessa, a former researcher, had continued it illegally, targeting Ellie for her rare genetic immunity. Jack's blood was tested. His immune profile matched Ellie's, offering a chance to save her. He underwent an immune cell transfer, feeling his strength drain as his blood flowed into her. Ellie stirred, her eyes meeting his, a faint smile breaking through. "Daddy," she whispered. Tears fell as Jack held her hand, vowing to end this nightmare. Vanessa's interrogation confirmed her role. Coerced by Dr. Harold Knox, she'd injected Ellie with stimulants, using the creatures to extract fluid. Knox, the project's mastermind, was still active, targeting other children. Jack joined Maya's Black Ops team to raid Knox's hidden lab in an abandoned clinic. They found him creatures and 3 terrified children with red marks. Jack stopped Knox from wiping data, securing evidence. The children were rescued, Knox arrested, and Vanessa convicted. Ellie recovered, her laughter returning in a seaside safe house. Jack founded the Ellie Foundation to protect other children. Viewers, what would you sacrifice to save someone you love? How far would you go to stop a monster? Jack Harper's homecoming unraveled a horror no father could imagine. His daughter Ellie, a test subject for a sinister experiment, her body drained by creatures engineered to steal her life. The red marks, the syringe, the whispered fears. They led Jack from a soldier's battlefield to a father's war. Vanessa's betrayal and Knox's cold ambition exposed the truth. Evil can hide in plain sight, even in a child's bedroom. Ellie's survival, fueled by Jack's blood and resolve, wasn't just a victory. It was a testament to love's power over darkness. The Ellie Foundation stands as Jack's legacy, a shield for children like those he rescued. Ellie's laughter, once silenced by fear, now fills a seaside cottage. Her drawing of the hero without armor, a reminder of what matters. Not just fighting, but holding on. Knox and Vanessa face justice, but the scars remain, on Ellie's skin, in Jack's heart, and in the other children healing slowly. This story asks, what's hidden in places you call safe? What would you do if the ones you trust betray you? Jack became more than a soldier. He became Ellie's hero, proving love can conquer even the darkest secrets. Share your thoughts below. What would you fight for, and how would you heal?